changing subjects, but you want me to make a prediction?
I do. I'm asking, like, what would you do if you were going to sort of bet the money line, if you will? What do you think you'd be looking at?
Well, that's why I was really wanting to know if we got a QB update. Without the QB, two chances, slim and none. With the QB, it's going to be tough. Between the hedges, Conrad, I just don't hate to say it. Tried and true, go Big Orange. Man, it's going to be hard. If they would have shellacked Ole Miss, I think we're having a different conversation because they'd be on a roll. And like you said, they haven't been beat by anybody but your Roll Tide boys. So I would
-9 is the betting line, just so you know.
Holy
9-point favorite at home, -9. Yes, sir, 9. That's how trash Tennessee is. -9.
The QB's out. I still don't think they're gonna. I don't think Georgia will cover. So I'll take the Vols.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll also see what happens.
Go ahead.
You've got a big meeting going down in Illinois that's baseball related, but everybody's sort of hush hush. I can't get a straight answer. What's going on this week?
Well, Springfield Lucky Horseshoes in the Prospect League. We're making moves and all that kind of stuff, but we will be revealing things this Friday. I'm making a trip up to Quincy, Illinois. That's about more or less giving it away. But follow me on social media at Real Jeff Jarrett, and I'll be releasing. And we got some really cool stuff. We'll talk about it in detail next week. My partners said, "Hey, man, just kind of keep it under wraps." There's a few things that have gotten out with the press up there, but looking forward to spending some time in Quincy, Illinois, about a baseball situation we're going to be revealing.
I can't wait to see more about that, and I can't wait to see Tennessee tote that ass whooping this weekend.
Hey,
it's going to be a lot of fun.
Let's go back on this. Did you see the Utah athletic director at the press conference?
I did. Boy, he was showing his whole ass, wasn't it? That was fun.
What's your thoughts on that?
I thought it was fantastic. We never see that. I mean, I like when people get invested like that. I mean, I understand why we've never seen it. I don't think I would want my guy doing that, but hey, it made for fun social media.
Buddy, he rolled up his sleeves and threw it all on the table. I'm curious to see kind of what the feedback comes off of that. But
it feels like somebody's going to be getting a fine somewhere. He was he had a case of the red ass, as Coach Rosie would say.
I was going to say, for folks that do not know, an athletic director from a college university football team, Utah, they got beat by what, 3? Or anyway,
it was a controversial call against BYU, who was undefeated.
Yes. And he voiced his opinion rather loudly and said, "Game, set, match. I'm out of here." I like this.
Hey, I was excited to be a part of this conference, and now I'm not. Wow, what a statement! Hey, speaking of a statement, there's been a lot of statements made this last week. Of course, lots of interesting headlines in mainstream media, and there's even some photos that I don't know that maybe you even had a chance to see. I wanted to see if you had a chance to catch these. I want to show them to you, perhaps for the first time.
Oh boy,
so get a real live response. What do you think about your man Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson here on GQ?
What in the world to see? What? Look, we should have done a side by side, Silva, and had me in some of my outfits. But what are the shoes? The shoes. What?
I mean, is that jacket from Thriller just the wrong color?
What am I looking at, Conrad? For real?
That's a photo shoot that The Rock did for GQ. I'm trying to make heads or tails of it. I'm assuming that Karen already has these in your closet.
I can go. Look, I can almost give. I mean, look. Okay, stylish. The shoes just jump off the page. Like, what do we got going on down there? What are those?
Which part of the outfit do you like them? By the way, this is not a wrestling gimmick. He's not wearing these on the way to the ring.
Yeah, no.
GQ is trying to convince us this is just what he wears. And
I like the jacket on the left. I like the leather.
That looks like a wrestling jacket, does it not?
Does. Yeah, I mean, I can go for that. The leggings, and I've never been much on the leggings and the long gym shorts. And he's got pajamas on in the right with a hoodie. But
wait, why do you say they're pajamas?
Well, surely they are. Well, I mean, you know what I mean.
Those are just boot cut, right? Don't you have some pants that look just like that? Isn't that boot cut?
Well, Connie, you know my wardrobe.
Can I get you in a GQ? What would we put you in if you were in a GQ layout like this?
Oh my God. You tell me, pal. Oh boy, Conrad, I know you don't fly near as much as I do, but boy, walking through airports these days, and you just have to ask some folks like, and they obviously by design, the people watching has gone from about a 5 or a 6 to a lot of times it's up around 8 or 9. I can't say it's a 10, but mercy, there's some outfits that you see in airports these days. But
Well, is there? Look at those shoes right there.
there it is. There it is. Thank you, Mr. Silva. Those right there.
Would you say these looks are like classic looks? I mean, real traditional.
Classic what?
So, Jeff, I'm pretty fired up, man. You know, we were talking about all things going on in October of 04, 20 years ago, and we're going to pick it up and talk about November of 04. What was the feedback you got from last week's episode?
You know, because all the build up and my brain's going to get rattled. The Hall and Nash. How do I say that, Conrad? The Hall and Nash discussion, the acceptance, the question. You know, the transition that we made during that time to go from the weekly pay-per-view to the Fox Sports Net and then do our first monthly. When we kind of looked at all factors and knowing that we were going to be in the studio for the next 12 months and kind of the numbers that we ran, there was, you know, the talent didn't know that, but internally we all looked at it with it was a new day. It was certainly a transition from where we had been the last 2.5 years. And you know, we talked about it last week. 2004, we weren't that far removed from Jeff Hardy arguably being the hottest babyface in the industry. He had his issues. Me and him had a relationship that went back to the early to mid 90s. And so, yep, there was a few hiccups along the way, but me and Hardy with Hall and Nash on board, and we were, you know, trying to make this the biggest splash that we possibly could. And we, you know, that was our focus. And especially during those days, TNA, the little engine that could, we had all kind of come together and we were super excited about the opportunity, and not just this event, but the next 12 months to come.
We got to talk a little bit about the new strategy here, because as we know, Victory Road is going to be the first 3-hour pay-per-view for TNA. You guys are going to be abandoning the weekly pay-per-views on Wednesday nights. Now you're going to go to Sunday nights for once a month. And there's lots of speculation in the newsletters. Here's one report. If Victory Road can do 20,000 buys while the company wouldn't be profitable overall, it would have to be called a success. At 30,000 buys, if they can maintain that monthly, they've got themselves the beginnings of a nice small business. Although at this point, with so little buzz on the show, it would be closer to 12,000. I'm not big on pricing points being a big factor in people buying wrestling shows. If it does less than 10,000 buys, which is certainly possible, even though this company can't make money short term under any circumstances, I can see people putting money up at first souring fast. As a long-term project, it's far more important to have a good or a great show, to recognize if there is a future for the company. It isn't now, and it won't be until they're on a stronger network and in a better time slot. A terrible show in the current marketplace at $29.95 will take a long time to overcome. Case in point was UFC 33, and that retarded the progress of that company by 12 to 18 months, as it wasn't until they hit Ken Shamrock versus Tito Ortiz as a home run that one could say the UFC had fully recovered from its first bad show.